Hey YouTube, we're here today with an updated deck profile for Kelley's Dracula deck. A lot of you have been asking us to do this deck profile, and we've finally gotten around to do it. We have a little bit of time, so we're just going to let Kelley take it away and finally give you what you wanted.
I guess before we start, to reconcile what we said in previous videos, we will not be attending the Rhode Island Regional because plans fell through. So unfortunately, not going to be there. But there will be other events and we will hopefully be at those. So yeah, this is my Alucard vampire deck. Obviously my ruler is Alucard the Dark Noble and the J ruler is Dracula. So for those who might not know what he does, he is a dark ruler. He's J activated as pay 0 and flip him over, but you can only do that if you control a vampire and if you're a card from your opponent's, a resonator from your opponent's board has entered their grave that turn. So when you flip them over and J-activate them, he becomes Dracula. Dracula is 1000 attack, 1000 defense, J-ruler with flying and imperishable, meaning when he dies he returns back to his other side in your ruler area, meaning you can activate him again. And then his continuous effect is when a resonator is put into your opponent's grave, if he dealt damage to it that turn, then I get control of it. So he's a huge threat and he's super fun to play. So this is my build. So start, I run 3 Servant of Vampire. I only run 3 because I kept the deck at 40 cards, so it's actually really easy to draw into what you need. And to be completely honest, this guy is just Thunderbait anyway, along with the next one. So he's just a good 1-drop vampire, and he does protect your stuff for a little while he's on board. Just solid 1-drop 2/2. Next up is another vampire that just gets thundered off the board. Welcome. Vampire Steph. She is a 2-drop, 1 darkness and 1 void. 400 attack, 400 defense, continuous. She says the beginning of your recovery phase, so when you go to untap during your turn, you reveal the top card of your deck, and for each will symbol, so the colored symbols on the card, you gain that much times 100 and your opponent loses that much times 100. So she's really good, but she literally just gets thundered off the board every time. So I never play her expecting to get her effect off. She's just a good vampire that if she does get her effect off, whoop-de-doo. If not, she's a cheap vampire.
You're welcome.
And she's pretty. Next up is one of my favorite cards in the deck, Laura the Bloodspeaker. She is another 2-drop, 300 attack, 300 defense vampire, and she has an inner ability. When she's played, search your deck for a vampire resonator, show it to your opponent, and put it in your hand. So she's amazing. She thins the deck. She's a decent-sized body. She can stop like the Hunters in the Black Forest and other silly little aggro things, but her search ability is phenomenal, and she's one of my favorite cards.
I don't like it.
I love her. And then last up for the vampires is Carmilla, Queen of the Vampires, because she is a phenomenal card. 4-drop, 800 attack, 800 defense, so already she's got really good stats. And when she enters, you destroy a target resonator your opponent controls, and if your ruler or J-ruler is Alucard or Dracula, then if the card that was destroyed with her ability was a human, you gain control of it if it enters the grave. So she's, not only is she phenomenal, she's a free blow-up, she's a strong vampire, and she's good. Yeah, I love Carmilla.
Zeke's if at all possible.
Yeah, so that was it for the vampires of the deck. Next up, I play 4 Familiar of the Holy Wind, Kitty Kitty. Kitty is a 1-drop, 200 attack, 200 defense card, so more 1-drops, which are always good, but the best thing about the cat is that when you play it and it enters the board, you get to draw a card. So 4 1-drop draw spells on a body is pretty good, and since I'm not running blue, this card was a godsend when they printed it. It also has an activate. You could pay a green and banish this card, deal 300 damage to target resonator. So if you really need to spot removal something really fast, this can do it. So really good card. Basically in there for draw and to have more 1-drops. And then continuing the 1-drop trend is Hunter in the Black Forest. 1-drop, red, 300 attack, 300 defense with swiftness, so he can swing or tap the turn he's played. Really good to get early damage in, just great card. So I run 2 Zero the Magus of Null and 2 Feathsing Magus of Holy Wind. Or excuse me, yeah, 2 of each. These cards are really good, being able to cast something on your opponent's turn. She can screw over the aggro game, and she helps with the control game. Feasting really shines against stuff like Bahamut and Scheherazade. Being able to tap for a will as well as FOW, or tell a creature you can't do damage this turn, is amazing. And then if you're playing against like Yellow Brick Road decks or Swarmy decks, Zero really helps by removing all the flying on your opponent's board and giving everything -200, -200. So she can wipe a lot of boards really fast. But I only run 2 of each because they're just helpful for the deck, but they're not the center, and I draw them a lot. Next up, I run 3 Hastur the Unspeakable. I run Hastur because not only is he a decent body, 7/5, even though it's for a 4-drop, he has Incarnation. And so Incarnation, it's 1 black or red creature and then another black or red creature. So he's really good because you can sack 2 1-drops, and when he enters you destroy a Resonator that doesn't have an addition. So
that's the one that gets you right there.
Yeah.
I always forget about that card. I remember every single other card in this deck, and all of a sudden she's just like, incarnate to this card?
So a lot of times like silly games will happen where they've kept all my good stuff off the board, but I still have my 1-drops, and you can just like swing with the dude, sack him off, play this, blow up something else. It's really good. Being able to instantly blow something up is another way to get him on the board, as long as you control the vampire. So this is an amazing card. Very rarely do I ever hardcast it, but even when you do hardcast it, still being able to blow something up for it is pretty good. Then, last but certainly not least, I played 2 Mephistopheles, the Abyssal Tyrant. He is bonkers. He's absolutely ridiculous. Like, this card is a 4-drop, 1500 attack, 1500 defense. He has flying and target attack, meaning he can choose to attack a rested or a recovered Resonator or J-Ruler on your opponent's side of the board. And he is a continuous, whenever your opponent targets him for a spell or ability, they lose 500 life. And at the end of the turn, you have to banish another Resonator you control. He's just, like, 1500 attack, 1500 defense is ridiculous. He's so good. Really big, helps against so many matchups, and a lot of times my board just ends up looking like this, and this is terrifying because they're taking this, or I'm stealing their stuff. So.
Do not want. 0 out of 10. Do not recommend.
And then for the spells, I run 4 Thunder, stereotypical for anyone running red. Just a really good card. Helps me get rid of problem children or beat down for the game.
Or, win.
3 Flames of the Outer World. This thing is also amazing. They can't chase it, so if there's something that's really giving me a problem, I can just get rid of it. And then 3 Exceed the Ancient Magic. I run this one because this is the non-side decked version of the deck. So I run this one for the first game, and then when I figure out what I'm playing against, I'll side deck out into either Cake Zone or Zeke's, depending on if it's a creature heavy deck or a spell heavy deck. But for the going into game 1 version of the deck, run 3 of these because it's kind of a cover everything, because it can counter anything. And if I have Feasting on the board, I get to draw off of it, which is also pretty good. So, last part of the deck is the stones, and I run 4 red-black, 4 black-green, 1 Feasting the Holy Windstone, and 1 True Little Red Grape. This thing's good in case I need to get the stones, or in case I'm missing a color if I hit it early game, although hitting it first turn kind of sucks. And then this thing is good because it gives something like...
It's the bane of my existence.
Yeah, this thing can protect stuff from spells, so it's pretty helpful. Also, it's wind. And we didn't have an extra Gru Ballista, so run this one. And yeah, that is my Alucard deck. A lot of you were asking for it, so I hope you enjoyed it. It is incredibly consistent. I love this build. I don't. Even when I have problems, I have enough outs that I can honestly say that it stands up to a lot of things. There isn't any one deck that I've said that I've been able to find that's an absolute hard counter to this build. So this deck is phenomenal. And I'm hoping it only gets better with the more stuff that comes out. So, thanks for watching, thanks for requesting the video, and I hope you guys enjoyed.
See you guys.
Bye.